Hi, this is Anna, and I wanted to share with you a side of our border crisis that we really don't get to see much of a peek into. You know, they slam us with so much stuff that we're so sick of it, we tune it out, we don't listen anymore, because it's the same emotional garbage that they keep upchucking our way. So, I ran across this article yesterday in the evening on a local Chattanoogan.com Tennessee online newspaper, and it's written by Roy Exum on why he stands with Trump concerning our border crisis. But he actually extends some opinions and suggestions and a lot of information from various sources around our country that I thought were very important to share. So, this from the Federation of American Immigration Reform in Washington, D.C. states that the total cost for the United States of illegal immigration at the federal, state, and local levels was approximately $134.9 billion in the year of 2017. Now, if you look up here at the first little asterisk, it'll tell you that the cost was, in fact, $116 billion. But if you look down here, the total economic impact was $134.9 billion, but they subtracted the tax revenue paid by illegal aliens of about $19 billion. So, if you go back into 2013, the cost has been rising from 2013 to 2017 at a rate of $3 billion in under 4 years. So we don't even know where it is 2 years later. Evidence shows that the tax payments made by illegal aliens failed to cover the costs of the many services they consumed. A large percentage of aliens who work in the underground economy pay no tax at all. Many illegal aliens receive a cash profit through their refundable tax credit programs, and so didn't even pay a full $19 billion in the first place. And we're going to go down here to, if your parents break the law to get you into this country, you should be given a free education, free housing, free health care, courtesy of the American taxpayer, and everyone will be granted complete amnesty from the crimes they committed in entering our country. But if you're an American citizen and your parent breaks the law to get you into a college, you should be expelled from school, your parents should be indicted, charged, and convicted of felony and may serve time in jail. Well, quite a bit different for an American citizen, isn't it? Now, they set up this $134.9 billion. If you took it and divided this by each of the 50 United States, that's $2.62 billion per state per year. A step further, if you take what's estimated to be nearly 7 million citizens in the state of Tennessee and ask each one to pay their fair share of this 1 year cost per state of illegal immigration, your hip pocket pad says roughly $270 for each man, woman, and child in your household would need to pay this to support illegal immigration. Let's look at it from the prison section. Statistics show at the Federal Bureau of Prisons that 20% of the prisoners in the United States are criminal aliens. The total United States prison population is 183,220 inmates, and Mexicans comprise the largest number of illegal alien criminal inmates with 23,532 prisoners, or 12.8 8% of the United States prison population. The report finds that more than 1 in 5 of all persons in Bureau of Prisons custody were known or suspected aliens, a shocking misuse of our prison systems and a major burden on the taxpayers of this country. It is believed by some this could be avoided if a border wall were funded immediately. Even more interesting is that 93% of all confirmed aliens that are in Department of Justice custody are in the United States unlawfully, meaning that ICE Customs Agency is accurately making arrests of those who shouldn't be in the United States of America in the first place. Now I want to talk about what we're not told about what the impact is for some of the aliens themselves and the people who are living near the border. We're going to do a story about just one single female ranch owner here and her comments on some public media. But first, let's go back and let's look at the wife of Alejandro Alvarez Villegas. He had been deported 11 times from the United States. He attacked his wife in front of their 3 children, ages 5, 8, and 10, with a chainsaw. His wife is suffering from serious injuries to her chest, and their children have been placed in protective custody. Villegas was apprehended the day after the attack in a stolen vehicle that he tried to ram into a police car when they were chasing him. He has a criminal history in the U.S. that includes possession of a controlled substance and drunk driving. You know, they bring crime with them because, first off, they're having trouble already. Let's slide back up here. You know, after hours of soul searching and of reading the daily police blotter swollen with the names of desperate immigrants who cannot find medicine for their sick children or food for those who are well, and the horrifying cost that these people have uncaringly thrust upon our country, the time has come right now to deport every illegal alien immediately. That's right. Trump's resolve to deport every person who is illegally in this country should start today. There must be no exceptions, loopholes, age limits, or any other way to escape a tightly guarded and enforced departure line to the country of each passenger's choosing. He says, I don't care when they go, nor am I sorry the hand they were dealt at birth, nor why there are bums in charge in the countries where they live, or anything else. I would have our C-40 cargo planes leaving on the hour, and any country who refuses to allow the planes to land will be immediately denied any further foreign aid, and we can leverage up the bargaining subject to military strikes within 12 hours of refusal to accept their citizens, not ours. You say the kind-hearted liberals will never allow it. Under my plan, not one politician or bleeding heart would have a choice. This is past argument. This is an emergency that threatens our nation and its liberty. I must interject some outside reading, and before you throw this plea to our president in the garbage, make sure you understand that any illegal deported from our country will have the very same opportunity to properly apply for sanctuary or citizenship as his fellow law-abiding citizens may want to choose to do. Now let's go down here and let's talk about this female single ranch owner. She says, the fire is coming home to your back door wide open. The fire is real for me and my family and my community. Where is the fire? The urgency to have a wall built at the border may not seem like a crisis for some, but for those living close to the border, the crisis is all too real. One such person is Carrie Wade, who with her family owns a ranch just 50 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. Keep in mind, this is 50 miles away from the border, and this is what she has to deal with. The border rancher recently responded to a Facebook comment when someone asked where's the fire in regards to the urgency of President Trump to build the wall at the U.S.-Mexico border. Let me tell you where the fire is. The fire is finding dead bodies on your ranch. The fire is finding domestic pig ears in your drinks when there isn't a domestic pig for 25 miles. The fire is waking up to unknown people talking in your attic. The fire is dogs barking all night long when your closest neighbor is 25 miles in one direction and 7 miles in another direction. And you realize there are people outside your barn. The fire is having to come home after dark and have to carry a rifle to go feed your livestock after Border Patrol tells you they only caught 9 of the 15 people they are looking for. The fire is making a choice. Do I take my child with me to the dark barn to feed and hold the flashlight? Or lock him in the house? So you lock him in the house and you have to call a friend to let them know he's home alone. And if they don't hear back from me, to come check on us. The fire is, you don't feel comfortable letting your child play outside without being in eyeshot of them. The fire is having large drug busts on your ranch. The fire is feeling sick to your stomach every time the helicopter swirls your house because you know they are chasing people, because you can hear them on the loudspeaker talking to them. The fire is seeing the BP camera set up a half a mile from your house. The fire is coming home after dark. Your children are driving in front of you as one is old enough to drive. And there are officers on your road watching illegals a quarter and a half a mile from your house. And you have to call your children and tell them, keep driving, don't stop at our house. The fire is coming home to your back door wide open. The fire is real for me, my family, and my community. That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. I read this last night. America has no choice. We must put out the fire now. And if that demands deporting 12.5 million uninvited guests and starting all over, so be it. I'm paused, just thinking for a moment. If committing crimes is the only way they have to exist, and we choose to deport every one of them and insist our rules be obeyed, we should deport those in our prisons among the first to go, unless it's a capital crime for murder. It's been documented that approximately 16,000 additional aliens in the United States Marshals Service custody required housing in state, local, and private facilities, which cost $1,458,000 a day. You know, but we're cutting programs for our own children in America. You know, we're taking their food stamps. We're you know, taking their medical care away. We're doing so many things. We've got people living homeless on our streets, and we can't afford to take care of them. But we're spending basically 135 billion a year to take care of criminals entering our country illegally. That's crazy. I'm sorry, but that's totally crazy. I did think that his suggestion here to put them on planes and send them back to their countries was a pretty good solution. And if those countries refuse to allow those planes to land, I do believe that they should be denied further foreign aid. Why should we be supporting their country and they won't even take their own citizens? But they expect us to, or we're big, bad people if we don't take in these illegal aliens. They're not ours. They're not ours. They're not our financial responsibility. I don't know about you, but most people I know can barely afford their groceries, their rent, their utilities, their toilet paper, their dish soap. Is really a struggle to pay for. And if they're paying out $270 a piece a year to support this, that's criminal. It's just one more. It's a terroristic attack on America financially, and obviously emotionally for these people who live near the border that are our citizens. They're not being protected. I mean, look at that. Actually, they are being protected at a cost to us. I mean, we're all paying for it, but they've been butt kissing them. You know? It's just incredible. So if you'd like to see this article, I'll post it in the description as well, the web address. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off from this. I just wanted to share it. I think I've gotten all the peak important points. I didn't cover these two, but hopefully you can just read them. Alrighty, Anna signing out.